Welcome, gamers, to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. We're on episode 216. Today is June 14th. My name is Craig Perales, and joining me, the ever long-awaited appearance of Geno Perales.
Here I am.
Hey, he's back, baby. So, just to kind of catch you guys up, we have had a lot going on. And lots of different schedules kind of lining up in ways that weren't fortuitous. I know, unfortunately, my niece, Geno's daughter, Adeline, she had to go to the hospital. That took a couple days. She's doing a lot better. She's coming home today.
She had to go to Vegas. She had up some appendicitis. They took that out, and she's coming home. So all's good, but it was a couple days of...
Yeah. Hoping for the best. And, dude, I've been playing phone tag with this guy that's supposed to be coming to fix my garage. He pushed it back again to now Monday. So I've been having to get up at 6 a.m. every day waiting for this guy.
And you had me moving boxes.
Yeah, I'm moving boxes. I had like an allergic reaction. Something, my face got all pink and puffy. So if you also noticed, Mandrew's not here. So the biggest thing and the biggest kind of most congratulatory thing we can do is that on June 4th of 2025, Mandrew and Cece had their child, Mateo Belnavez Montemayor, at 8 pounds, 15 ounces, 20 and a quarter inch. So... Hey,
bowling ball
hey,
game,
congratulations.
Huh?
So I told Andrew, it's been a couple weeks, but I said, hey, man, take as much time as you need. Me and Geno will work it out. We'll figure it out. And eventually now, here we are. We did get an episode going. It does feel like it's been, I think, 2.5 weeks, but... You know, there's priorities, and, you know, families and stuff come first.
Family first.
Hey, everyone knows family first. So, Andrew, congratulations, my brother.
Congrats, my man.
Either we'll get you on a Zoom one soon, or maybe in a week or two. Because I don't know if you're going to be open if you want to do a couple more. Because I know Andrew's whole life just changed. His whole schedule is now going to be a lot different. He's not going to be able to come over here and help little Craigie as much or as often as I would like him, or maybe he wants to do it. But completely understandable. But
we got little Mateo on it.
Hey, we got little Mateo. Hey, this light's for little Mateo. So changes to come, but back nonetheless. So again, Andrew, congratulations, my good sir. So guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the share and notification buttons. If you guys are interested in following us on any of our social media, our Linktree link is in the description. You can check us out on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you guys are listening to the audio only version of the podcast, you can check us out on your podcast platform of choice. So to get started, guys, we were going to do a whole coverage of all the big game stuff that was happening, the state of play, the Xbox game showcase, but again, it's been a little more time and all that stuff is out, and we didn't want to talk about...
That's out. This is in.
This is now in. We didn't want to talk about too much of old stuff, so we figured we'll just do a laid-back episode with some questions. But before we get into questions from the audience, I just want to do a quick off the top and kind of do some recap if you haven't been paying attention. The Nintendo Switch 2 is now out, and it's doing fantastic. It sells 3.5 million in 4 days, which makes it likely the biggest console launch ever. And I just wanted to point this out real quick. It says the huge start for Switch 2 will give Nintendo a boost in reaching its target of 15 million units for its first business year, or even beating this number, which many analysts predict the console will do. If Switch 2 surpasses 15 million units in the opening year, it will beat what the original Switch managed. PS4 and PS5 launched later in the year and sold around 7.5 million units each, with the latter suffering stock issues due to the pandemic. So, yeah, I don't think it was any question that the Nintendo Switch was going to do well. It's just crazy how well it's actually doing. And the good thing, unlike when the pandemic was happening and there were shortages of issues, it doesn't seem like the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be that hard to get your hands on. I mean, obviously in holiday, it's going to be very much present to get. The big kind of question is presents. It's going to be a present for presents. It's going to be obviously everyone wants one, but I think the novelty kind of wore off. Everyone was kind of interested in what the Switch was. It's a handheld. You can dock it. It's going to play all your new Nintendo games. And a lot of people got one. Most people, I mean, I got two. I think, didn't you have two at one point? Didn't you have the handheld?
The original? Yeah, I have the handheld, and I have
the Switch Lite.
A dock, yeah.
So now it's kind of going, is that going to roll over to the Switch 2? And it seems that apparently it has.
That number blows me away. Because I guess I just kind of underestimated the Switch market. To me, yes, it's a better system with the graphics and what capability, but to me, there was no out and go buy it.
It seemed like the marketing wasn't even that like heavy for it. And what sucks is I know a lot of people.
3.5 million in 4 days is
dude, it's wild
number.
And I'm curious how much of it was between like America, UK, and like Japan numbers and things like that. But I know there was a lot of people on like GameStop. I guess they didn't know where it was in the box, and people were stapling receipts to the front of the boxes, and it was puncturing people's screens.
Oh,
you imagine how many return models you got the next day after that? So it seems so far the biggest selling games that they have so far is Mario Kart World and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It seems like something Sam was actually just asking me. She's like, hey, do we want one now or do we kind of want to wait? I have heard that the battery life on it isn't too great. For me, that doesn't matter. I dock it anyway. I don't play it handheld. But she likes playing in bed and on the couch and things like that. So is it something you're interested in getting? If not now, maybe later by the end of the year, or maybe give it a year, wait till a Gen 2 comes out?
See, I definitely want to, just because it's a new.
I want it
now. Just because any new hardware, any new device, we always want to play with it. But it's like I got my Switches, and those are just getting dust. I mean, I'll always bring my 3D my Switch to Newport when we go. But that's really the only time I even take it out. During COVID when I got sick, I brought that in and I played it. But
was Grayson not playing like Mario Kart or anything like that?
He was playing some Dance Dance and some Mario Party, but
my little butterball.
I mean, I'm there's other things I want to play. So unless something crazy comes out where it's only on Switch, maybe. But I think with Switch 1, I'm happy. But apparently a lot of people want it.
The other thing too is, I mean, I don't think the console's too bad of a price. It is what it is. But
what is it?
I think it's just under $700 or something like that. Let me look it up real quick.
The Switch 2 $700?
I think so.
Nintendo. Oh, that's even a crazier number then.
Switch 2. Wait, what am I thinking of? No, it's $500.
Okay,
and that's for a bundle pack.
Bundle pack. Okay,
because maybe I'm thinking of when people were trying to sell them. Because like on eBay right now, this thing says $700. This says $580. So it's in that ballpark. Nintendo. See, this is Nintendo Switch 1.
Yeah, but 400 is what I thought.
Switch price. I just want to double check it and make sure. Yeah, this is selling. This is saying $690, not $499. So it looks like $500 is kind of where it's at, but. I also want to point out is the peripherals are just a controller alone for the Joy-Con 2. You're spending $100.
Yeah,
and then now that they're also the first ones to launch games, launching at $80, it's just really expensive to even get 2 good games and a player 2. So now maybe that's what I'm thinking more of is after that $500, you're paying another 2 to 3 just to get a couple games and a player 2. So
yeah,
but it doesn't seem like it's stopping anybody.
Yeah, I mean, there is an audience for it, and to get the better
version,
an audience with it. And then be able to do the in-game chat now is probably a huge feature for a lot of people.
And I'm curious how good that camera is going to do as well.
I'm happy for it, man. I hope it does break the record.
Yeah, as long it's good that there's still a strong Nintendo support system out there. And I'm glad it came out and did well. So I'm thinking maybe if we do get one Christmas, and we'll kind of take it from there. But
another Grayson present under the tree,
another stocking stuffer. Other than that, I wanted to get into Mortal Kombat 2 has been getting a little more buzz around it. They just did a focus group, and it seemed to be doing pretty well for the diehard fans that were watching. Since it will feature an actual tournament, fan favorite characters like Johnny Cage, Shao Kahn, Katana, and Baraka, and many more will be introduced in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2. The story of the sequel will even be more high stakes than that of the first movie, since Shao Kahn, Emperor of the Outworld, will be able to invade Earthrealm if he is victorious in the tournament. Overall, it seems like Mortal Kombat 2 will more closely adapt the ambitious story of the video games, which is something I've been waiting my whole life to see. So, good news that it's moving forward. What's weird is number 1 didn't really do that well. It had a budget of $55 million, and worldwide it only made $84, which is not what you really want to see. And it did kind of it went away from what the Mortal Kombat is. It introduced a new character, which I think his name was Cole. And it was all right. The trailers were awesome. When you watch Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero, and he gets the blood and he turns into an icicle, and they're doing a fight, it looked awesome. But unfortunately, the movie didn't land too well. But yeah, he was playing Cole Young, and you know that dude, the guy that plays him, Louis Tan. He's the dude in Cobra Kai that was fighting Johnny at the end. That was the lead.
Really?
Yeah, and he was way badass in Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, I really like him.
Yeah, so that's him. But people are a lot more excited now that Carl Urban is going to be playing Johnny Cage. It seems like that's kind of the poster that they're going with. Uncaged Fury.
Oh, is Johnny Cage not in the first one?
No, I don't really remember well, but I don't believe he is. And so he's coming in this one.
Okay.
And now they're going to have Shao Kahn. I even see here that Quan Chi is going to be in it. I remember Shang Tsung's in the first one, but it's more Mortal Kombat. And apparently if you are more into the games, they did kind of go back on the Mortal Kombat official storylines instead of navigating so far away they did with the first one. But
they should.
Any
so
excitement
there's no trailer for it? It's just an announcement?
As far as I know, yeah. I don't think there's been an actual trailer.
There's excitement. Anything that's Mortal Kombat is going to be good. I remember number 1 kind of being cheesy, but I remember actually really liking it. It's just one of those things where, like, Goro maybe died too soon. It's like, save some of these people for number 2 if you're going to have it. That just seemed kind of a lost thing. If I remember right, that's what happened.
Are you thinking of Goro in the old Mortal Kombat? Did you watch the new one they redid?
Yeah.
Where he's the MMA fighter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought his ass got killed. That's what I'm saying. It's, like,
it's been so long since I've seen it, because I remember he dies in number 2.
Yeah, if that's the case, that was one part I'm like, oh, that's kind of a waste, unless they can bring him back. There's magic. But, yeah, any Mortal Kombat's good Mortal Kombat for me. Number 1 was kind of stinky, but if they're going back to the game, Carl Urban's in it, it's going to be grittier. There's actually going to be a tournament. That sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah, so that's our off the top. I kind of want to do more of those.
Mortal Kombat's too.
It's your goddamn Mortal Kombat's too. Maybe Andrew will have more to say in the comments that he can leave down below. So guys, leave us your thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2. Because again, Nintendo Switch 1 only came out in 2017 and sold 152 million units worldwide. So number 2 is off to a good start. And then leave us your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2 that should be hopefully coming sooner rather than later. So, with that being said, guys, let's get into questions of the week. If you guys want to leave a question that we can answer on the show, you can do so a few different ways. You can email us at lastcallproductions@gmail.com. You can leave a comment in the YouTube video down below. We can grab it there. Or you can find me at Craig Perales on social media, and I can take it there. So, our first question comes from the Mandrew himself. He wrote this, I think, on our thing last week. He says, currently loving Elden Ring Night Rain and glad From Software wasn't afraid to try something different. I couldn't fathom a loot zone-based game from them before. Is there a studio or game series you'd like to see try something different? Do you know, and how?
I kind of think we talked about this briefly a few episodes back when I was on there. And I forget what I said at the time, but what really stood out to me is what I believe what he had said that time was be a Star Wars, like Final Fantasy Tactics game. And ever since he said that, I can't stop thinking about it.
And didn't they just release? Are they putting out now a Tactics RPG Star Wars game? Isn't that the next one they're doing?
I hope so, because that's been on my mind for a while, especially with the new Tactics release. I'll talk about it a little bit, but it's bringing my love back for that type of genre, and have a Star Wars version of that would be, I think, awesome.
Yes, it would be awesome. It seems like, well, because you never know anymore with what's getting canceled and what's not. I think Star Wars Zero Company is going to be a game that's like a D&D 5e tactic RPG, a narrative-focused systems like Fantasy Flight game, Star Wars RPG to be more mechanically granular approaches like Star Wars 5e. So
that'd be awesome.
That might be the game for you, my friend.
That might be it.
As far as what I was thinking, it's really hard to think because you don't know what you want until it's shown to you. But so to kind of you know what I mean, kind of guessing at it, because there's so many things that have tried stuff like that. Like you look at Metal Gear Solid, it did 5 with like an open world. You look at games like Mortal Kombat, and it did its action game like Sub-Zero, or like even Street Fighter 6 now is a little different. And you look at comic book games, they all kind of do tactics, fighting, RPG. Injustice does fighting games like that. So I was just kind of thinking, and this is more of a fun answer versus what I would really, really want, because I'm not too sure, but if they made a Mario Kart game that was with Marvel characters, and, hey, we call it Marvelo Kart, and you do, and in kind of like a chibi art style, I think that'd be kind of cool, because you could get like Wolverine's Jeep, you can get Spider-Man on a bike, but you make it kind of more friendly. Dude, Juggernaut could just be like the dude from Twisted Metal that's just holding on the 2 wheels. Oh, I think that might be kind of a fun game. You do a Mario Kart. I changed
my answer.
We're going to do that. Magneto in like a cool metal dome or something running around, but
I can see that.
Yeah, again, I think it's kind of hard because nobody knew they wanted Night Rain, and I played Night Rain with Andrew and his I forget if it was his brother or his cousin, but we had some fun with it, and nobody really saw that coming, and ended up doing quite well. Now I know there is some backlash, and I know not everyone's loving it because it's more they want Elden Ring than the spin-off of Night Rain, but Andrew's saying he's having a blast, and I've seen people I'm sure it's not fake that have already like 100% of this game and gotten all kinds of good stuff out of it, so seems to be doing well, but Marvel Kart might be my answer for the time being. So Guys, leave your answers down below. Next question comes from Daisy Bellew, I think is what it is. And she says, I have a question for you boys. What do you enjoy the most about making each episode? Please and thank you. Well, someone who jumps on here and there, you have a highlight at all? Or maybe a downfall?
I put mainly just the process, getting the questions, getting stuff that he might want me to look at or answer, being able to, like, sometimes I feel like a little detective. It's like, come up with a good piece of news, whatever. So I'm doing my digging, I'm writing my notes, just getting into it is half the battle. The other half is actually getting to collaborate with him. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to say? Let's format this correctly. So it's like getting in it and seeing kind of the behind the scenes of what goes on and how to do it, and then actually finding the news itself and making it relevant to talk about. It's just really fun to do.
Nice. I feel like Bob Saget. I was like, when it's done, because my thing is always like, it's for me when I get these guys ready. It's like there's a lot of pressure of going like, okay, I got to get notes. I got to make sure if we hit these timetables. Like I hate when we miss weeks. So it's like, I don't know if you guys can see my notebook, but like I do take a bunch of notes for these things, like even if it's episodes we don't do. So like it's just to have all this stuff. So like I'm constantly diving in. So by the time we get done and we get to edit it and stuff, it's like cool. Like, I don't gotta worry about it for another week. But to be more serious, the fun part is just to see the boys, man. Like it's like I do get to see Geno more often than I get to see Andrew. But like Andrew once upon a time was my neighbor, so I did get to see him all the time. And we get to talk. Like all of our friends play games and we talk games. But like this is the one day a week or the a couple days when we're talking about the show that we get to geek out and dive into like some good conversations. We do reviews. We do some deep dives into stuff. Collaborating with other podcast channels like the Brothers Take is really fun for me. So. It's the experience of just getting it done and like Gino's saying, like if we're gonna talk about this, it's now diving more into it and being like and learning something more about it, and hopefully it comes across as intelligent as it can and you guys learn something, because it hurts when there's no views, but it's still fun to do nonetheless.
Nerd.
So thank you for the question. The third question comes from Jolly Rancher. Do you think they like the candy or they're really just a Jolly Rancher?
Candy.
And they write, did you guys get your hands on the new Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set at all? I heard it was expensive. Yeah, that Geno is actually the one that got us rolling on that. So
so I missed the launch event at Tim's place, but I
at the Wasteland. Shout out to Tim.
And I sent him a message, and he held a couple the kits, the pre-release kits for us, and so we were able to buy a couple boxes, come home. But yeah, they were $75 for the kit, and I don't remember it ever being that expensive.
Which was what, 6-7 booster packs?
6 booster packs. It comes with the dice. The box was
badass.
Really cool. Maybe we can throw a picture of that.
Yeah, I think I have a picture of it.
But yeah, it is. This set itself and Magic itself is getting a little more expensive, but this set overall is a little more expensive. I mean, $75 for a pre-release kit. So, but we had a lot of fun playing. Craig spanked me. We both played green-white, I think.
No, I have Naya written down. Didn't we do white, red, green?
I threw like one red card in there.
Hey, red's red. You know, it's in there.
Red.
Yeah, because I made sure I looked at Naya. It says that it came out on June 13th, but we got them since it was the pre-release. We got them a little bit before that because I thought we were playing like a couple days ago. About Fantasy MTG. But yeah, I do gotta say, the artwork is fantastic. It's really cool that it'll show things from the scenes, but it also do pixelated images and things like that. So that was great.
Some of the full art card, and it's super nostalgic to go back through and see like Renoa on a card, to see Vivi, to see all these cool people on cards that were actually like. I was telling them when we came in, we took the picture. I'm like, did you ever think there would be a day where we were playing Final Fantasy Magic? And I'm like, dude, how cool is it to be alive right now?
Yeah, especially because we've, me, Geno, and Andrew, I bought us all decks one year. You have the Final Fantasy 8 one, I have 7, he has 10. It's like there was a Final Fantasy game, but we kept them in the boxes because I think it's a dead game. So it's cool now that at least Magic, it's supported, and there's going to be other cards you can kind of mess with it.
Which if you are interested in Magic the Gathering Arena, gives you some free boosters for the set, and they had a really cool intro where you could get some half decks and stick them together for free and just play the cards
and learn
the system. So if you are thinking about jumping into it and you want to not spend as much money, play Magic the Gathering Arena and get a feel for it. But it's a really good way to
I got to set mine up
to play it.
So it does have. I got Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. It's cool because on the bottom it'll tell you what Final Fantasy each card's from. Obviously, I want Cloud and Sephiroth. But I know that's probably going to be the more expensive ones, the hardest ones to get without, buying boxes, and hopefully you get one. Are you trying to keep playing until you get Squall, or are we going to keep messing around with
I have them on my MTG arena. I actually entered a limited tournament, and I ended up pulling them. That's one of my rares.
Oh,
so I have them digitally, but I would like to have a hard copy, yes.
Nice. Yeah, because, it is cool. Magic is kind of getting more into licenses. We have sets from the Lord of the Rings when they did that one. We had the Monsters one that was like Godzilla. Mm-hmm. So... Final Fantasy, it's cool that eventually it got here. It's going to be more fun to see what they do next. Because I don't want it to get to be Fortnite-ish where there's just everything of Magic. And eventually I guess it has to go there. But landing on Final Fantasy was one that I think we've all been waiting for. So.
And they all want a piece of my
And they all want a piece of the bark, man.
No, just a piece to get.
So thank you for the question.
Yeah, very cool.
The next one comes from Anonymous, and they write,
Anonymous?
Big week of gaming. Did any game or trailer stand out to you that you can't wait to play? So, yeah, there was 2 weeks of big gaming events, and that was what we were going to cover, but again, it's just kind of passed. There was the State of Play, there was the Summer Game Fest, there was the Xbox Games Showcase. Those were kind of the bigger ones. Konami just recently had an event. So I just want to point out some shout-outs, and then we'll dive into the ones that stand out the most. So there was things like Pragmata. There was Romeo Was a Dead Man.
Very good.
Hirogami. Resident Evil 9 just had a pretty big trailer. Tides of Tomorrow. Felt that boxing. I don't know if you watched the Summer Game Fest one, but the Muppet boxing game, dude, looked hilarious.
I know, I missed that one.
And obviously, Grounded 2 and Outer Worlds 2 was a big deep dive directed they did at the end of the game showcase. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff and something for everybody out there. But what was the game that caught your eye the most that you're looking forward to playing, hopefully by the end of this year, if not, maybe not next year?
So I got a kind of a twofer. The most excited one that I was looking at was Final Fantasy Tactics, the remaster. Is actually my introductory into that genre. The cool thing was it's voiced, which I'm really excited to kind of hear that story, because if you haven't played it, it's an amazing story. The game is going to come out with the original version and then an enhanced version, which adds quality of life stuff and the voicing, all that good stuff. So a funny story about that is when Smiths used to rent games, I went there and I remember renting it, going home and play, but I had no clue what I was doing. And I in the first fight, you can add people to your party to make it a 5-person, but I didn't know how to do that. So I didn't know you. So I only started with the main guy, and I kept dying and dying and dying. I'm like, man, fuck this game. And then years later, I'm like, I'll try it again. I'm like, oh, it's like a simple little button just to pull them over. So amazing game. Super glad to see it. Wasn't expecting it. So awesome. But the game I look forward to playing the most was The Blood of the Dawnwalker, developed by Rebel Wolves, published by Bandai Namco. And I'll go into the description. Bloodwalker is a vampire-themed dark fantasy action RPG set in a gothic fictional 14th century kingdom called Vale Sangora, located in the Carpathian Mountains. Drawing from Eastern European folklore, players explore a richly detailed world filled with supernatural creatures, moral dilemmas, and political intrigue. It's a mix of predominantly Romanian motifs with a broader influences of Balkan culture. Now, that being said, I'm a huge vampire guy. The time frame with the medieval stuff, that stuff just instantly calls to me. So that's the game I'm probably most excited. If done right, it should be awesome. It was announced in 2025 January. And they don't have a specific release date for 2026, but that's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most, and I'm hoping it's good because that topic of game is really where I want to.
Aren't we all?
Well, I just want to sink my teeth into it.
I hear it's going to blow us all away. As far as the game, I've been looking forward to the most. It is a game that was shown off a couple years at Xbox Game Showcase, but it's Clockwork Revolution. We finally got a big trailer for it. It's an upcoming action role-playing game developed by NXL Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios. As far as I can tell, it's... What'd I say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Not In Exile.
What'd I say? Oh, I'm sorry. NXL Entertainment. Maybe I was reading something else. NXL Entertainment. And it looks like it's just coming to Xbox and PC.
Good.
The plot is a steampunk Victorian-era metropolis. Avalon serves as the main setting for Clockwork Revolution. In the city, affluent manufacturers replace their missing limbs with elaborate clockwork prosthetics, and mechanical slaves attend to their masters' every need. But the sources of these technological advances are sinister. Lady Ironwood uses time travel to alter events in Avalon's past in order to maintain the social hierarchy that benefits her and her fellow upper-class residents. The game also explores political themes, suggesting the presence of different factions and ideologies that players can align with. So there's something about alt history that I love. Obviously, being BioShock is one of my favorite games of all time. And even to a lesser degree, if you played Atomfall, something like that was awesome. I love seeing these different takes on how humanity could have been. And then you add in time travel, which is now up to you to kind of change the plot, which kind of gives me vibes of being like, I don't know, obviously there's probably going to be multiple endings, but there's going to be different, like the replayability is going to be there. You're going to want to see a different point of view. It looks really cool. Like when they're running around, they have like these little clock grenades, and he's throwing them down. It looks like there's a great sense of humor. Like when the guy walks in and he's like, "I've been robbed." He's like, "Is there anybody that would want to like go after you?" And they both start laughing with each other because they know the guy's probably just a piece of shit. So the game looks fun. It looks like there's going to be a lot to do, lots of replayability. So for me, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Everything, even when Sam was watching it, she was like, "Damn, this game looks badass. Like I'd want to play it." So I think it did the right job of getting people that maybe didn't see it 2 years ago in on it now. And it says that players are going to be using the chronometer, which is going to be the time-traveling apparatus. And again, it's jumping all over the place. So there's going to be modified Gatling guns, revolvers, 19th century firearms, and all that stuff. And then that steampunk vibe just looks dope. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, my original notes I put in there, there's part of that trailer where I put just the conversations where the guy was talking to over the counter to the guy behind him. He's like, "Don't keep talking to him." And the guy's like, "No." But depending on how you picked your answer, he picked up that candlestick and just busted his brains open. He's like, so I think...
Let's see what else Arrow has to say.
Yeah, the conversations and how you pick really could influence it. And real quick, I totally forgot, that vampire game I was talking about is they try to make him a vampire. It doesn't work, so he becomes like a Blade, a Dawn Walker, and then he starts hunting them. So I meant that was the really cool part that I wanted to explore as well that I forgot to say, but I will say it now.
Hey, it is said. It's been
said, yeah, so shall it be written.
So definitely, guys, if you checked out a bunch of these games over the last 2 weeks,
that game looks amazing.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are because I think there was a ton of different games. We're actually going to do a show a week ago about everything that kind of stood out to us. But out of everything, those were the two that I think we had our eye on the most. And then our final question comes from Big Gunna, and they write, what are you looking forward to more, James Gunn's new Superman or Fantastic Four?
James Gunn's new Superman.
Hands down?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's
don't get me wrong, the Fantastic Four one looks amazing.
Fantastic Four first.
I like the genre, I like the Quicksilver, the Galactus, but Superman's my shit. And the way they did this with Lex Luthor,
Nick Holt,
your girlfriend, I'm gonna kill her. The people who raise you, yeah, I'm gonna kill them too. And then you have Green Lantern, just all the people in there, and the way and they filmed the new trailer when he's spinning around. I mean, it looks just so good, comic booky, but done cinematic. Like it looks like an actual Superman comic book movie. I know it's hard to say, but there is a difference.
Yeah,
versus a movie based on a comic book and a comic book movie, and this looks more like what I want to see. And it looks great, man. Crypto's in it. I mean, there's just so much
the
good
Superman
stuff
robots.
happening. Yeah, the execution is where, and it's James Gunn, so fingers crossed he hasn't let us down yet. So I think it's also going to get executed well, which is half the battle.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm more interested in the Superman movie because it is a reboot. They are starting over again. So,
change the record.
I mean, you do have two issues looking at both of these. You have Superman, who is now restarting a brand new DCU because DCU didn't really end that well. They kind of did the opposite of what Marvel did. They, instead of a couple characters and then make a team movie, they made a team movie and then made single movies. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that didn't like Henry Cavill as Superman. But that's not the same as saying, did you like the Superman movies, right? The dark tone that Zack Snyder kind of did. So that's kind of the hurdle that I think the Superman movie has to do. But then you have Fantastic Four, where, I mean, objectively speaking, none of those movies did well. Like, they're all pretty much bad. There's old movies from, like, I think the 75 or something. They're all bad. But then you have the ones with even Chris Evans as Human Torch. Those didn't do well. Yeah, I mean, I do like the Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan.
The third act is where it just falls apart.
I ended up liking that. So its hurdle to climb is going, dude, does anybody even want to go see this IP anymore? But the good thing it has going for it is that it's already in the MCU now. It's established. The good thing going on with Superman is that you've got James Gunn and Peter Safran who are now running the studio, and James Gunn, the beauty is he is a fan of comic books, so you're getting a lot. I think what's going to be an issue, I don't think for comic book geeks, is maybe there's going to be too many people in this movie. You've got Guy Gardner, you've got Mr. Terrific, you've got Hot Girl, you've got all these people, but if anyone can make the ensemble cast work, you've got James Gunn who made Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which I was just going to say is the same amount of people and heroes.
And it looks like it's got lots of fun. If you haven't seen the last trailer,
and it has a Godzilla in it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the last trailer, dude, there's a part where Crypto jumps up, rips the dude's helmet off, and then he gets punched, and dude, the teeth go flying. Dude, and if you listen to the trailer, it cracks the glass.
Yeah.
I was dying.
There's IMAX tickets on. I actually kind of want to go and see it.
I would be down for that ride.
Would you? IMAX want to go see it?
hey, big guy. Hey, eyes up here. Yeah. So I want to go see them both, and I think they're coming around the perfect time of each other because we have this comes out in less than a month. It comes out July 11th, and then I think in less than 30 days, Fantastic Four comes out. So hopefully they benefit each other because I was looking up. People were kind of nervous about how Superman might do, and it says that it's looking pretty good. Early projections suggest that the new Superman movie, scheduled for release on July 11th, could have a record-breaking domestic opening weekend, potentially surpassing $175 million. That's insane. Mm-hmm. Some industry analysts even speculate it could exceed the opening weekend of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which earned $166 million. This would make it the highest-grossing DC film opening week. So a lot of people were nervous thinking, because it's a new Superman, maybe we don't have the strength to go into a new universe, starting all up. It's like, no. People are ready to go.
And it broke a record for most trailer for DC or something. Yeah.
And then Fantastic Four seems to be doing okay too. Fantastic Four First Steps projected opening weekend to be between 125 and 155 million range, and that would rank it as the 12th best for the MCU. So, I mean, good time to be a comic book movie fan, but in general, if these movies are going to be doing these openings, that's good for the movie business.
Yeah, I think Superman, it's always going to have those high numbers because it's Superman. What I think is going to save Fantastic Four is I think this time it's actually going to be a good movie, and people are going to want to go back and see it like they do with good movies. The other ones just never could go the distance.
Yeah.
And the 1970s, like the older time period, you have Pedro Pascal, Galactus, it's not a cloud. I mean, it has a lot of good things going for it, and I think as long as it's a good movie.
Does the female Silver Surfer bum you out? Do you want to see Norman Rad?
I want to see what I grew up with, which would be the Norman Rad, but Silver Surfer is Silver Surfer. I don't think him being a guy or girl in this particular one is going to bother me anyway.
Yeah, so I'm
not a diehard Silver Surfer fan, so
I'm ecstatic for both of them, and I think they're both going to be good. You got Kevin Feige finally taking over Fantastic Four, and you've got James Gunn, of Superman fan, rebooting Superman. So I think we are in good hands. So, guys, that's it for the questions. Leave down any answers you guys have to any of the questions, and we'd love to conversate with you. So if you've made it to the end of this episode, we like to do What Are You Up To?, where we take a second and talk about what we've been playing and what we've been doing. So, Geno, why don't you go first real quick while I set mine up real quick. What have you been watching? What have you been playing?
So what I've been watching at the suggestion of Mr. Sixberry was Righteous Gemstones. It has the one with John Goodman. It has Danny McBride. It has Adam Devine. So it's about their super wealthy evangelicals, whatever the huge super churches, and it's just about this family who the kids are, I would say, growing up with that much money just kind of all makes them almost unfunctional as far as like real stuff goes, but when it's game time, they do their church thing. It took me a second to get into it. I watched the first episode. I was kind of like, okay, just finished. After the first season, I was hooked. So I just started season 2. So if you haven't watched it, it's hilarious. I mean, once you just get through it, John Goodman's amazing in it. So.
I got to give it another go. I've tried watching it, but I mean, maybe just too drunk or something. I couldn't get past the first episode. Maybe give it 3.
Give it 2 or 3, and then I was hooked. As far as games going, I was playing Expedition. I kind of fell off of that, and I jumped back into Avowed. After watching the Xbox showcase, I mean, those games, I would say, for me, is one of the best showcases I've seen. They were bangers.
Hands down, I loved it.
I've been in I was getting these little funks, and I'm watching YouTube more. After that, I'm like, no, I want a game, and I didn't want to do turn-based, because I was like, Avowed I had started, and so I loaded my game up, and I'm like, I don't quite remember what I'm doing on the controls, so I started a new person, played the first hour, I'm like, okay, got it, deleted that guy, and then went back to my other guy, and so far, I'm really enjoying it.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. I'm really enjoying it again. So I was playing last 2 days.
And you can get through it pretty quick if you. I'm not saying that you have to beeline it, but it's not that long of a game that you got to. It's not like Skyrim.
I'm doing side quests.
Yeah. So
but it's cool just because you can have 2 different features. You can switch back between your melee and your magic. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I just got my second character. I think I'm maybe 7 hours, 8 hours in at this point. But,
I forgot that came out earlier this year. Like I ran through it so quick. Yeah, but
I don't. I'm done. Well, I want to just. If I'm going to start it, I want to finish it, and it is a good game. So if you haven't checked it out, it's a lot like Skyrim. If you like that type of game, not quite as good maybe, but really enjoyable.
Nice. As far as what I've been up to, as far as what I've been watching, I just watched Predator, Killer of Killers, which seems to be getting kind of mixed reviews. On IMDb, it's a 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 96%. Screen Rant gave it a 5 out of 10. It's a Viking raider, a ninja in feudal Japan, and a World War II pilot encounter a fierce intergalactic hunter. It was kind of misleading. They're all in different time frames, and they all kind of go against their own. Oh, dude, the ninja one is hands down the best one.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it.
Because it starts off with, so there's different stories, and what you find out is, at the end of every one of these stories, they've all had the ability to be a predator. So they're getting collected to now go fight the killer of killers. So now at the end, they've got to go fight the main predator. And that's as much as I'll say without giving anything away. It's badass. And the cool thing is they each have their own little anthology story. So it's like the Viking one's dope. I think the ninja one is the best. And then there's the World War II one. It came out on June 6th, so it's just released. It's on Hulu, which means it's on Disney Plus if you have either or. And it's a lot of fun. I will say there is a tie into the movie Prey, if you've seen that movie at all. I won't say anything more about that, but they are connected in some way. So I'm going to be curious of how it moves forward. A lot of people had some issues with the animation, and that's understandable, to each their own. But it was made in Unreal Engine, which is primarily a video game making system. I thought it was actually kind of cool. I thought it did a really good job. It kind of reminded me of like Arcane and things like that. So if you're into that kind of look, watch the trailer. I'm sure it's playing right now. And I'd say give it a go. It's an hour and a half. The fighting is fantastic in it. So give that a chance. As far as what I've been playing, I'm kind of loosely bouncing around on a couple different games. But I started playing Planet of Lana, which is a 2023 puzzle platform game developed by Wishfully Studios and published by Thunderfall Publishing. It's on every system. What's cool is I started playing it, and then the Xbox Showcase came out, I think, and they announced that there's going to be a number 2. So, yeah, I was like, oh, cool, perfect timing. And I'm following Amaka's guide just so I don't miss the shrines. You can beat it like in 3 hours.
Where's your number 1 at? You bought it?
It's on Xbox. It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh, because the trailer's like, oh, we beat him, but they came back or whatever.
Yeah.
The little kid
and the cat. And
that looked awesome.
It's fantastic. So again, it is just kind of a 2D puzzle platformer. So like I just recently beat a game called Somerville. It's kind of like that. It'll remind you of games like Inside and Limbo. Okay, yeah, that's it. It does. It's more than just a moving kind of platform game. You do get this cat, and I forget its name, but you can use the cat to
Mr. Fuzzies.
Mr. Fuzzy Whistles. You can use them to cut ropes and distract enemies because there's an ability that you can send them to like sit on things and stand, and you can call them back. So it's kind of an interactive thing. There is an achievement for making it through the whole game without dying or getting caught. So I'm slowly kind of playing it. I'm on chapter. I think I just got to chapter 4.
Chapter 2.
On chapter 2. So it's a lot of fun, and I would say
look great.
Just in time. So I know you like those kind of games too. So check that out. I believe it's on the Game Pass, and it'll be just in time if you beat it now to play number 2. So guys, that is what I've been up to, guys. Let us know down in the comments what you've been up to. And with that, guys, that brings us to the end of episode 216. Join us next time, guys, for episode 217. And until next time, my name is Craig Perales. This handsome fellow is Geno Perales. And until then, cheers.